So today I didn't get to film anything. I went and had the rear diff welded. Had to run some errands and stuff. Just some odd and end things went on today. But we did get here at the shop, and the IS300 was kind of pulling to the right. So got to dealing with that. All it ended up being, I guess, is where the lower ball joint come loose. It mashed the bottom of the dust shield up onto the bottom of the rotor. So I figured out where it was at, and I got it bent, but it wasn't scraping, wasn't making any noise. Not enough to make me think that it was the dust shield. So checked it out, everything looks okay. Tire spinning free now. But we did do something else. So since the G35's gone and I got to keep the wheels, we ended up putting the wheels on the IS300. Now these are bigger of the two sets of wheels, but we wanted to see what, you know, the max is. Well, and the fenders are pretty much shot anyway. So with the fenders being shot, anyhow, we wasn't really worried about it. So we just pulled the fenders. We're planning on cutting them, getting some anyway. We'll have to get some wide body fenders to be able to run a different tire. We know that's kind of pretty close to the limits of what we can run. That's a pretty wide wheel. I think it's like a 10.5-inch wide wheel or something. So we have a 245, that's a 275. 45. So we got a 245, 45, 18. Which is way lower than these, and that's a 275 45 on here. So we at least know we're kind of at the limits of what we can run as far as tires. We hadn't tried the back yet. I don't know what we'll have there, but I'll put the smaller ones on back just to see. So I think the 245s will be the limits on the back. I don't even know if we'll be able to get them under the car without having to cut the quarters and do the wide body section on it for the actual width of them and the drift stuff to go on. So yeah, so I've tinkered around with his car trying to figure out why it's pulling. So I mean, because our drift cars come first, and we got to figure those out so we can go to this weekend. And then once we're comfortable with our drift cars and we're happy with what we're working with right there, so we can go, then I'll fall back to the Miata. But I did get the rear diff welded. It's actually out in the BMW. I got to get it and bring it in for tonight. That way tomorrow, I may pick back up on the Miata, but I'm gonna go over this just a little bit more. I may drive it, but it doesn't look bad. Just have to see how it turns out once we get the back on, see how the back looks and stuff. We're just trying to see what fits, what works, what don't. And then we'll drive it and see how it handles, see if it's still pulling to the right. There may be something else going on. The alignment, I've got it pretty close. I'm not really sure. We'll have to center the steering wheel and pull the tape again after we change the wheels. And I moved some stuff around. I did adjust the alignment a little bit more, try to get it a little more square going down the road. And we'll just have to drive and see. But that's all I'm gonna film for today. I'll probably be back tomorrow, try to work some more on the Miata. Start putting it all together, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see what we come up with. But all right, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of update. I've been out of the shop a little bit. I had that little, what is that truck? The GMC Sonoma. I've been trying to sell it. I had a guy been talking to me about selling it, or about buying it or whatever, and well, I got to looking for the title and I didn't have it. And I know I mean, I take care of my titles. I pay attention to where they're at and I do all that type of thing, but couldn't find it. I've dug everywhere, in my house, in all the vehicles, any place that I thought it could be. We've been through it. All right, so go to the courthouse, and try to file for a lost title, and they start doing the paperwork, and generally they'll print it right there on the spot. So if somebody, you know, lost the title to a car, they can literally go to the courthouse and have one printed right there. Except for this time, I think I've lost one or two maybe over the years, but I've got a better system now, and I've not lost a title in years and years and years. So evidently somebody messed up when they put maybe the number, the title, I don't know, some number, and so everything goes through Nashville when it leaves my area, and so somebody messed up. So I never got the title, it never got mailed to me, so I don't have a title to the truck. Dude's got money in hand, wanting to buy it, and yeah, so I go there and I have to call the dude, and I'm like, I won't have a title for, they got it where they can get a couple days or something and get it processed and get it actually mailed. So there was an issue with the numbers not matching up or something, but they figured it out. So yeah, so I've been dealing with that. So I've had to kind of take off a little bit, but I've been here a little bit just trying to get ahead. So actually the transmission, we're on the Miata, we're back under it. So got the degreaser on the Miata, on the transmission, got it pressure washed. Got the clutch kit changed, so that's installed. It's kind of dark in here, I got the lights turned this way. But new clutch kit, pilot bearings been changed, transmission got pressure washed. So the thing's clean. And that's pretty much where we're at. I got the rear diff welded, and I haven't started on putting it back together yet because, you know, the way it appears to me is that transmission needs to be set first, and so that's where we're going to start. So, all right, that's about where we're at with it. So here we go. Sometimes you got to stop and think, make sure that you haven't forgot anything, anything you need to do or change. Take that, back in the construction world, they would call it the 2-minute rule. Stop, take 2 minutes, check your work area, and just think about what we're doing here and how we're doing it, and it's everything as it should be. So, all right, let me look around for a minute, make sure I got everything where I want it, and we'll go from there. All right, here we go. All right, so everything looks to be in line, pretty straight. I think we got about everything as it should be. And so all we need to do is come up a little more. I am probably going to change the slave cylinder because the clutch, you could tell it wasn't completely wore out. It had a lot of meat left on the actual clutch disc, like it could have been ran more. There was definitely an issue. So if I think that had something to do with it though still, I'm going to just go ahead and change the slave cylinder. The master cylinder's been changed and the line's been changed. Slave cylinder looked like it has been, but kind of looks kind of maybe spongy on the piece that comes out, like it doesn't, something's just up there. So we're pretty close to sliding the centerpiece in. Let's check my light here. moment, we're gonna try to start all the bell housing bolts we can. So with that being said, we're gonna go through here and try to get what started our bell housing bolts in, and then we'll go from there. All right, I'll try to get some bell housing bolts in, and that's where we'll be. We'll see where that leads us. All right, here we go. All right, so I finally got the transmission in. This is a whole different day. It's like it didn't want to pull up, so I finally just went to throwing the tightness to it, if you will. So I got it in. That was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. That was one day. I know it's dark. I don't know how much you're gonna see of anything, but got the rollback washed. Got the 240 on it. It is all kinds of dark out here. So if we can gain some light coming back this way, nothing. Well, we'll see tomorrow, but I did get that jewel in. My son's driving his car. Transmission. Let's get some light on the subject. Transmission's in. Bolted up. Can't really pull the rear end of it till I get the what you call it, the rear diff finished up, which I'll work on that maybe, possibly, might work on it tomorrow. I really don't know. So I know it's dark and gloomy. I'm trying to run wide open here and get everything done. I still got tomorrow, but it's my son's birthday. Happy birthday, son. Which he won't see this for a while, I'd say. We're behind on everything. But yeah, so we're about ready to go drifting again. Haven't quite got the Miata done. That's okay. That wasn't the pressing job at hand. So the main thing was to get the 240 finished, get my son's car situated, and get them back to the track. That seems to be all right. We seem like we got them both, you know, at least remedied somewhat. So, all right. I washed the truck and the 240. I'm freezing. So, all right, I'm gonna shut the doors. We're gonna make call tonight. I'm cold. I don't have any kerosene to run the heaters either. So, all right, here we go.
I'm feeling high.